A couple of days ago, I was scrolling through Marketplace when I found this. Somebody selling baby axolotls for only 25 bucks. And not only that, but they could eat bloodwrons now. I don't know what bloodwrons are, but I think he's talking about bloodworms. So anyways, I took a look at the pictures and eventually decided that I need one. I mean, look how cool he looks. But then I took a look at my current tank and I realized this 10-gallon tank probably isn't big enough for an axolotl, 2 snails, and a turtle. But before I figured that out, I immediately messaged the seller and went to go pick up the axolotl. And just like that, 25 bucks later, I had myself my very own axolotl. So the first thing I did after taking him home and getting him inside is look at him. Now some fun facts about axolotls is they don't have any eyelids, so they can't blink at all. And the way they breathe is through these red gills on the side of their head, which is kind of weird. But also if you put your finger next to them, they'll think it's some really big type of worm and try to eat it. I don't know why he thinks I'm a worm, but he's trying to eat me. And apparently some axolotls have this rare trait called GFP, which lets them glow under UV light, so we'll have to see if this guy can do that. But first, I need to get his home figured out, and to do that, I bought this massive 40-gallon tank filled with a bunch of junk in it, but it did come with this really expensive hose, and this free dog, so that's kinda cool. I got a dog. So I emptied out all that junk from the tank and got a better look at what I was working with, which was an old, crusty tank filled with a bunch of fake plastic leaves in the aquarium gravel. And the first thing I did was take the tank outside so I could separate the gravel from the tank and wash them both separately. Then I sprayed down the tank and filled it up with water to make sure it didn't leak at all. Now that it was full of water, I wanted to show this ancient technique to set up an aquarium that I learned years ago, and that's to add at least 1 duck to the tank before you fully set it up. Now this just lets the tank get used to what it would be like to hold something in it, and it has the added benefit of making your duck very happy. Look how happy she is. But the one drawback to this technique is you'll probably have to clean the tank after. Now before I bring it back inside, I made this big stick which should hold most of the weight of the tank, which will weigh about 240 pounds once it's filled up with water. I just wish there was a way to simulate the weight of having water in the tank just so I could know the table could hold it. I am now inside the tank, and the table seems to hold it fine, so... Now I could pour in some of that aquarium gravel that I just cleaned and then put the hose that came with the tank inside to fill it up with water. But the hose wasn't long enough, so I had to run my garden hose throughout my entire house to fill it up with water. This is a cat. Now if I just turn on the hose, it should start filling up with water, I think. Is it working? I can't see, is it working? Hello? Now that the tank was filled with water, I couldn't just throw the axolotl straight in. That's because tap water normally has chlorine and ammonia in it, which makes it safe for humans, but not safe for fish. So to fix that, I need to go to that one store that I keep going back to. Bailey, get off the table, we gotta go to PetSmart. I don't know, man, I just don't think the pets can be that smart. Alright, so I picked up some water conditioner, which is supposed to get rid of any chlorine and ammonia in the water, and then I stirred it up like a big soup. I don't know if that's necessary, but I did it anyways. And then I also picked up the submergible water filter that has a UV light inside that's supposed to kill any harmful bacteria and stop algae blooms from happening. So I went and got that installed in the tank and then struggled to bury this air hose under the gravel. And while that was running, I also got this C-Chem Stability, which is supposed to add healthy bacteria into the tank. So I threw in 3 capfuls of that based on how much water was in the tank, and then decided that since my turtle tank is pretty much falling apart and it's filled with algae, I'm just gonna move everything into the new tank, which means moving Wally into a temporary water bowl and then draining all the water out of the tank. Then I cleaned off all the turtle gravel so I could add it into the new tank. Then for decorations, I'm reusing this coral rock and wood that came with the new tank and this big piece of driftwood from my old terrarium. Now I could finally add all the aquatic plants in from the old tank and then stick the turtle docks onto the side. Now it's almost ready to move everyone in. I just need to add this light on top and then I can introduce Wally. And before I add the axolotl, I'm gonna acclimatize him by emptying out some of the water in his tray and filling it up with the new water. Now while he sits here getting used to the new water, it's important to note that you should really never add an axolotl into the same tank as a turtle, because these gills on the side of his head look a lot like bloodworms, which the turtles also love to eat. even though mine kind of struggles to eat them a little bit. But painted turtles like this one normally spend all their time at the surface of the water and don't really dive too deep, while the axolotl in the wild normally lives on the bottom of lakes, which mine also does, so they won't really interact too much. And even if they do, the axolotl can move in really fast bursts and easily dodge the turtle. So now let's go ahead and get him added to the tank, and I'm just gonna kind of tilt the tray until he eventually swims out. And he made his first stop in the plants as he slowly floated towards the bottom of the tank. And just look at his little arms. They actually have the ability to regrow limbs if they lose them. You can also just see his organs straight through his skin for some reason. I don't know who thought that'd be a good idea. But probably the most amazing feature they have is how you can just tell there is not a single thought going on inside his head. It is absolutely empty. Also, look at him swim. He's literally just a fish with arms and legs.
What's he doing?
He's just standing there, menacingly! Get out of there, SpongeBob!
Now, I picked up some bloodworms, which is supposed to be an axolotl's favorite food, so I'm gonna try to hand feed him. And pretty soon after, he came to see what was going on and then took a bite out of my hand. But all this talk about food got Wally interested, and he came to grab any pieces that floated up to the top. And he got a little bit spooked, but this is just how fast he can move. Now I want to test out and see if he can actually glow in the dark, because I kinda lost him. But before we do that, I need to do a little self-promotion because we're almost at 10,000 subscribers. So if you guys want to support the channel and see more videos like this, just click that button right there. It's literally the easiest way you can support the channel. So now I can just go over to this window and quickly turn it to nighttime so I can see him better. And then I can go back to the tank and turn off this one last light and use this UV light to see if he can actually glow in the dark. So I guess I'll just shine it on him and then, yeah, wait, it actually looks like he's glowing. I don't think it shows that well on camera, but he's literally glowing in the dark right now. This is actually kind of crazy. Here, wait, maybe if I put the light like right on top of him, you can really see it. Yeah, damn, it's pretty bright. He's literally like glowing green. So I guess if I ever lose him in the tank, I could just turn this light on and it'll literally just light up. And I found out later, but this isn't actually something they can do naturally. Scientists took the gene that's found in jellyfish and put it into axolotls so they could better study how they regrow limbs. Oh, where'd he go? Ah, there he is.